Hello friends, welcome back to VOW DAYS. Welcome to the discussion of the mains test series, and as you all know, we are discussing the second mains test of Vision IAS, and this is part 4 where we are going to discuss from question number 16 to 20. So this will be the thing for the day. So let's quickly begin. And just a small information, the document that we are using for the discussion is the summary document that we have prepared from the Vision IAS. So this will ensure that you revise the same content multiple times in an easy manner. That is the main intention behind this, right? So let's quickly begin. So let's see the question number 16. Question number 16 is on the non-conventional energy sources. See, energy sources is something which is very important from GS1 and GS3 point of view. So have all the stats, facts and everything ready. So as you all know, there are two energy sources, conventional and non-conventional. Conventional means the traditional, like the fossil fuels, and non-conventional means the recent or a new kind of energy sources which are coming, like the solar, wind, bioenergy, all these things. So let's see here what are the things that are given. So first, it is about the solar energy. India gets about 5 to 7 kilowatt hour for 300 to 330 days in a year, and can set up to 20 megawatt solar power plants per square kilometer of land. And what is the target? The target is 100 gigawatt solar energy by 2022. Potential, there are various regions like Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat, and world's biggest solar park is at Bhadla in Jodhpur. So this is about the solar energy. You can also even write the Panchamrit targets, that also you can just include it. And the wind energy, so it is also taken care by the Ministry of New Renewable Energies, and India has gross wind power potential of 302 gigawatt at 100 meter and 695.5 gigawatt at 120 meter above ground level. The favorable spots for wind energy, if you see, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Karnataka. India intends to achieve 60 gigawatt of wind energy by 2022. Next, about bioenergy. The current availability of biomass in India is at 750 MMT per year. The surplus biomass availability is at 230 MMT per year. Next is and also corresponding to the potential, it's 28 gigawatt of energy. India targets to produce about 10 gigawatt of energy from biopower by 2022. And if you see the hydro plants of 25 megawatt or less, they come under the renewable energy, less than 25. And the existence of various streams, especially in the hilly areas all across India, provides small hydropower potential of 20 gigawatt. India targets to achieve 5 gigawatt of energy from small hydropower by 2022. Next is MNRE. India's tidal power potential is 12,500 megawatt and wave energy potential is 41,000 megawatt. The promising locations for tidal energy, if you see, they are the Gulf of Kambat and Kutch, the Sundarbans, the Western Ghats, etc. The wave energy, if you see, the west coast of Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka and Kerala, but these are not utilized at commercial scale in India. Next is the geothermal sites for direct heat use applications, the Rajgir in Bihar, Manikarn in Himachal, the Surajkund in Jharkhand, the Tobuban in Uttarakhand, Sohan in Haryana, all these things, they are geothermal sites. So whenever there is a question of these non-conventional sources, right, about the solar, wind, hydro, and the tidal, geothermal, all these things you will be writing. And the importance, if you see, they are non-polluting, they are carbon neutral, inexhaustible and indigenously available, they are cheaper alternatives, they will ensure sustainability, they will ensure self-reliance. So all these things we can just write. So if you see the Panchamrit targets, so these are the targets: the 500 gigawatt by 2030, 50% renewable by 2030, 1 billion ton emission reduction by 2030, the decrease in carbon intensity by about 45% by 2030, compared to that of 2005 levels, net zero by 2070. So these are the various Panchamrit targets. So these also you can just use in your answer. Next question, the 17th question. So just one more thing is why these are not updated in this paper is that this question paper is from you can say it just came after or before the updation of this data and all. So that's why we don't find these updated data sometimes in these question papers. Okay, so you have to update them by yourself. Let's see the next question, the 17th question, the coal distribution in India. See, the coal distribution, the iron ore distribution, these are standard questions that will be asked in the mains. So you have to have your answer ready for these kind of topics. So coal distribution, if you see, coal is a sedimentary rock with high carbon and hydrocarbon which are combustible in nature and a non-renewable source of energy. It is found in anthracite, that is 90 to 95% carbon content, bituminous 60 to 80% carbon, lignite 40 to 45% carbon, and peat more than 40% carbon, and fulfills 50% of India's energy needs. The coal-bearing strata of India are geologically classified into the Gondwana coalfields, which gives 98% of total reserve and 99% of production of coal in India. India has 113 major coal fields, and the Gondwana coal is about 250 million years old, exclusively found in the peninsular region. And if you see the tertiary coal fields, these are the coals of younger age from 15 to 60 million years ago, and it shares about 1% of total coal production in India. So write about the Gondwana coal fields and tertiary coal fields. And the distribution of production of Gondwana coal, if you see, Jharkhand has 28% of coal reserve, and if you see, it has 21 prominent coal fields. Example: Jharia, Bokaro, Rajmahal. Remember this. So first is Jharkhand, next is Odisha, second largest, process about 25%, 24.64. You can remember as 25% of total reserve. Third largest producer of coal, contributing to 19% of coal production. And important coal field is the Talcher. So in Jharkhand, remember Jharia, Orissa, Talcher. Next, Chhattisgarh, 16% of coal reserve and 21% of production of coal happens here. Major coal fields are Korba and Tatapani. So first is Jharkhand, 28% coal. Next is Odisha, second largest, processing about 25%. Next is Chhattisgarh, about 16% reserves and 21% of production. And Jharkhand, remember Jharia, Odisha, remember this Talcher, and Chhattisgarh, remember Korba. So next, West Bengal. West Bengal has over 11% of coal reserves of the country, but produces 4% of India's coal. Raniganj is the famous coal field from West Bengal. Next, MP. MP has 8% of coal reserve, but contributes 13% of total coal production. Fourth largest coal producing state of India. Major coal fields are Singrauli and Jingurda. These two from Madhya Pradesh. And with 7% reserves, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana produce about 10% of India's coal. Most coal reserves are in the Godavari Valley, that is in the Singareni coal field. The Singareni coal field is a very famous coal field in Telangana. Next, if you see Maharashtra, it has about 3% of reserve and accounts for 7% of production of coal. The Kamptee coal field has major coal deposits in Maharashtra. So even for these kind of questions, just draw a small map. A map where you are showing the Talcher in Odisha, the Jharia in Jharkhand, Bokaro, the Raniganj in West Bengal, the Singrauli in Chhattisgarh, the Singrauli and the Korba, the Singareni in Telangana, the Neyveli in Tamil Nadu. So you can just remember 4 or 5 of them and show in the map. That will fetch you the extra marks. Next, distribution and production of tertiary coal in India. The present in Assam, the tertiary coal they present in Assam in the Makum, Naziria, Mekir Hills, Meghalaya, Garo, Kasi and Jaintia Hills. In Arunachal, it is Namchik, Namprup coalfield. In JNK, Udhampur and Kalakot area, and in Chamba district of Himachal. There has been a phenomenal increase in the production of lignite coal in India. Although lignite deposits are found in Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, JNK, Kerala, Rajasthan, West Bengal and Puducherry, Tamil Nadu, that is the Neyveli coalfield, accounts for 90% of the lignite reserve. So this is about the coal and coal fields. Now let's move on to the next question, the 18th question. Now this 18th question regarding the global atmospheric circulation. So here we have to talk about the 3 major cells, that is the Hadley cell, the polar cell and the Ferrel cell. We have to talk about all these things because it's talking about the global atmospheric circulation, and the global atmospheric circulation is incomplete without these cells. So if you see the global atmospheric circulation, the air moves in response to difference in temperatures at equator and poles. So this difference in temperature creates the movement of this wind, and the movement of air across planet occurs in specific pattern depending upon the latitudinal variation, the emergence of pressure belts, the migration of belts following the parent path of the sun, and the distribution of continents and ocean along the rotation of the earth. So the air rises at the equator, leading to creation of low pressure and rainfall, and when the air reaches the edge of the troposphere, it cannot go further, and so it travels to the north and south. The air becomes colder and denser and falls, creating high pressure and dry conditions around 30 degrees north and south of equator, and the large cells of air are created in this way. So Air rises and then falls, rises and then falls. So because of this rising and falling in various cycles, so these various cells, the Hadley ferrule, are formed. So the three major cells, the Hadley cell, it is driven by the warm air rising, because as you all know, the warm air rises and the cold air comes down. So this rising of warm air at the near to that of the equator is the one of the main reasons for the creation of this Hadley cell. The Coriolis effect causes the air that has risen at the equator move towards the poles and to deflect and become increasingly westerly high up in the atmosphere. That circulation breaks down and air sinks back towards the ground in the subtropics about 30 degrees about the 30 degrees latitude, which is also called as the horse latitude. Once the air has descended back, it returns to the equator and is deflected to the east, and they are known as the easterly trade winds. So that means here you can see this is Hadley. So near to the equator it rises, okay, it rises and then it travels towards the pole, and then it comes down near the subtropical high, which is about 30 degrees north. 30 degrees north and south, you'll find this. Okay, so from here again there will be, so this air which has come down, it has to move towards the equator, and this will move from the east, and that's why they are called as easterlies, the northeast trade winds, because they are coming from the east. Next, if you see the polar cell, it is driven by the sinking cold air at the poles, and they are moving back towards the equator. But because it is slow moving, it becomes easterly as underlying earth moves faster, and the circulation which eventually breaks down at around 70 degrees latitude, and the air then rises again and returns to the poles, resulting in another atmospheric cell. So this is the polar cell. So this is the result of the sinking of cold air at the poles. Okay, the subpolar low, here it is there, and the polar high. So here the air rises, it moves, and here it comes down, and this is how it circulates. Next you have the ferrule cell. Ferrule cell is between the Hadley and polar. So H, P and F. So this is the thing. So here if you see the ferrule cell, so it lies between the polar and Hadley. It is the net effect of the air motion from all the storms and depression that occurs in the mid latitudes. The air sinks in the subtropics and rises at about 60 to 70 degrees. So here sinking of air happens, it goes like this, and here air rises and it travels like this. So this is the ferrule cell. In this region, the westerly surface winds occur. Okay, so here the easterlies, here the westerlies you will find, because as the name suggests, so westerlies means from here it is coming. You see all these things, these directions, they are based on the Coriolis force direction. Okay, so that is the thing about this global atmospheric circulation. Let's move on to the 19th question. This 19th question is on the location of sugar industry in India. The sugar industry, if you see, it is an important agri-based industry impacting about 50 million sugarcane farmers and 5 lakh workers in the sugar mills. India is the second largest sugarcane producer after Brazil and the largest consumer as well. The Indian sugarcane industry annual output is about 80,000 crores, and there are 732 installed sugar factories in the country as of 2017. And the location of sugar industry in India, if you see, it has to be near to the sugar belt, because sugarcane, if you see, it loses weight when it is traveled down. When it is kept in the sun, it loses weight because the water evaporates from inside the sugarcane. So being a weight losing crop, the better recovery of sugar can be occurred when the industry is near to the crop, and also it has to be crushed within 24 hours of harvesting in the sugarcane factories. So most of the factories are located near the sugar producing regions. UP and Maharashtra, if you see, they are the major sugar producing states, and the sugar factories are concentrated in two belts, the Ganga Yamuna Dome and the Terai region. In Tamil Nadu, the sugar factories are located in Coimbatore, Vellore, Tiruvannamalai, the Viluppuram, Tiruchirappalli districts, Belgavi, Bellary, Mandya, Shivamogga, Vijaypura, Chitradurga districts, and they are the major producers in Karnataka. It is distributed in coastal regions like the East Godavari, West Godavari, Visakhapatnam districts of Andhra Pradesh, and Nizamabad and Medak in Telangana. Other sugar producing states, if you see, Bihar, Punjab, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat, and they are comparatively new in Gujarat. Next, it is also recently shifting from North India to South India. It is mainly happening because of the tropical climate of South, which gives higher yield per unit. The long crushing season in the South than North. Example, it is 4 months in North and it is 7 to 8 months in South. The sucrose content is higher in the tropical sugarcanes in the south, and the cooperative sugar mills, they are better managed in the south and compared to that of the north. Okay, so these are the reasons. And next is the major biomes of the world. If you see the major biomes, the total assemblage of plants and animal species interacting with specific conditions like rainfall, temperature, humidity, and soil. And we have 5 major biomes: forest, desert, grassland, aquatic, and altitudinal biomes. And if you see their characteristics, the aquatic includes freshwater biomes with less than 1% of the salt, and marine biomes, if you see, they are also there, and they cover about 3/4 of the Earth's surface. The marine biome include ocean, coral reef, and estuaries. So this is the first major biome. The second major biome is the grassland. So grassland, if you see, they are the open regions dominated by the grass with a warm, dry climate. So this is the major thing. They have warm and dry climate throughout the year, and there are 2 types: the tropical savanna and the temperate grasslands. The tropical savanna and the temperate grasslands. And the savannas, if you see, they are found closer to the equator. There are few scattered trees, and the temperate ones, they are found away from the equator and do not have trees and receive less precipitation than savannas. Example, the prairies and steppes. There are 2 types of temperate grasslands. And if you see the forests, they covered 1/3 of the earth based on the latitudinal location and the climate. And there are 3 major forest biomes: the temperate, tropical, and boreal forest, which is also known as the taiga. The tropical ones, they are warm, humid, and close to equator. And the temperate ones, they are found at higher latitudes and have all 4 seasons. And the boreal, if you see, they are found even at higher altitudes and have coldest and the driest climate, where precipitation occurs in the form of snow. And if you see the deserts, they are dry areas where rainfall is less than 50 centimeters, which are 20 inches per year, and covers 20% of the Earth's surface, and does not have too much of biodiversity. Any vegetation and wildlife living in a desert must have special adaptation for surviving in the dry environment. Here, wildlife consists primarily of reptiles and small mammals. And according to their location or climatic condition, the deserts fall in 4 categories: the hot, dry, semi-arid, coastal, and cold. So this is about the desert biome. And if you see the altitudinal biome, they are extremely inhospitable conditions, lowest average measured temperatures of any 5 biomes, ranging from -34 to 12 degrees. Precipitation is 15 to 25 centimeters per year, and so on. And they're classified into Arctic and Alpine. The Arctic biome is found in the north of boreal forest, and Alpine is on the mountains, where altitude is too high for the trees to survive. The less biodiversity, simple vegetation, has shrubs, grasses, mosses, and lichens. It is due to permafrost. The permafrost is nothing but the frozen layer under the soil. So these are the various biomes: the aquatic, grassland, temperate, forest, desert. See, you know all of these things. But the thing is that you have to know specifically, like in the grassland, there are 2 types: tropical and temperate. And if you can just write a couple of things about savanna. Savanna means closer to the earth of equator. The temperate means they are away, as the name suggests, they are away from the equator, like the prairies and steppes. The forest, in the forest also the tropical, temperate, boreal. So like this, if you can just write even 1 or 2 details about each of them, that will be sufficient. That will give you that extra marks, because most of the people will be writing aquatic biome, grassland biome, forest biome, desert biome, like that. But if you can write these extra points, that will give you that edge. And also for these kind of things, just draw a map. It might be India or world, because it depends. Sometimes in exam we will not be able to recollect that. If you just can draw the world map, and if you can just draw major deserts, okay, maybe Sahara desert, Thar desert, like that, if you can just show the grasslands, all these things will be good. Even if let's say you're not able to draw a world map, but if you just remember the India map, because India has all of these things, all of these biomes, so just show them in the India map. So whatever it is, you just have to show them. Okay, that is the key. Right. So these are the 5 questions. These are the 5 questions for the day. Right. Tomorrow we will start with the third test. Right. And as we discussed already, so the document that we are using for the discussion is the summary document that we have prepared. We have prepared the similar documents for prelims test series and monthly magazine as well. Do make the best use of these. This will ensure you get the maximum benefit out of it. So that's it, guys, for the day. I'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more MCQs. Till then, keep studying 5 more questions. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.